Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Shooting the Shit with Yankee. As always, I'm Yankee, so let's start shooting. Today's topic is one that I have been hounded about. Several people on pretty much most of my videos, almost every day, ask me, hey Yank, why haven't you weighed in on the Ukraine? Why haven't you weighed in on the Ukraine? I don't know if it's because they think I'm going to say something that's going to make me look bad and they're trying to force me into that, or if they really care what I think. I also don't know if it's multiple people or just one determined person with multiple accounts. But because they were so determined, today we're going to discuss, should we be arming the Ukraine? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Do you think we should stop it? Should we keep doing it? What do you think? I want to know what y'all think. Now, since most everybody's already weighed in, I'll weigh in here first and say what I think. I don't have the world's strongest feelings about foreign aid stuff. Let me just say that right off the bat. I also don't like giving foreign aid to corrupt European countries. But if we didn't, we wouldn't be arming anybody. But my whole feeling about this is, since I am a child of the Cold War, I was raised by my grandparents who were definitely no fans of Putin. My grandfather, or not Putin, but Russia. My grandfather's one big regret, he said, in life mirrored some other big names in the military when he said the worst decision we ever made was during World War II, when after we took down Japan, we didn't march into Moscow also, because even they knew back then that Russia was a huge threat. So I don't like Putin. I think Putin is the biggest sociopath on the world stage. He's murdered so many people openly. He steals from his people. They live in poverty, and he just gives them free alcohol and free cigarettes to try to keep them from rebelling. He's the worst. And anything that hurts him, I'm for. Now, I'm also for making sure that the stuff we give him goes to actually hurting Putin, not getting sold and going in someone's pocket or something else. And plus, it's not usually as big a drain on us as people think it is, because a lot of times when we do these things, the arms we're giving them is arms we have to replace anyway. Because a lot of people aren't familiar with the idea that we have these expiration dates in our military contracts that say, hey, if you build us these missiles and we don't use them by this date, we have to reorder them and dispose of the old ones to keep the military industrial complex going. So we actually have expiration dates on a lot of our stuff that we can't use it past, not because it's bad, but because we have to order new ones as part of our agreement. So I'm fine with giving that stuff to countries that need it and can put it to use, especially if it's hurting our enemies. So I'm fine with giving them stuff that will help them put a hurt on Putin and get him out of power. But that's about as far as I think about it. I don't put a lot of thought into it. Now, I do get upset when some people say things like, we shouldn't be giving money to anybody while we still got people here that are hungry. Well, I'm like, okay, great. That's a good argument. If you're out there advocating for and voting for people that want to feed the hungry, they want to help supply food banks, they want to give kids free lunches when they're poor, or all kids, period. If you're advocating for that and you say we shouldn't be doing that while we got needy people here, well, then more power to you. If you're doing that, if you're saying we shouldn't be helping people overseas while we got hungry people here, and then you vote for people who say fuck the hungry people, and you say fuck the hungry people, well, then that argument doesn't work for you. So don't use that argument. You're just a jackass. If you do that argument, you're a hypocrite. But like I said, haven't thought a lot about it. Don't really spend my days thinking about it. I'm more consumed by a lot of other things that I think have a more direct effect on me, my life, and maybe my kids' lives. But I'd love to hear what you all think. So I'm going to go over and start reading your comments. Hey, everybody, just going to interrupt myself here real quick and remind everybody that if you want to get into the cold steel knife giveaway while helping save a pet in need, go on over to TYMPpistolproject.com. There's a link in the upper corner, and become a Patreon supporter and get registered to win one of the knives. All the details are over there. And also, while you're over there, if you want to get registered to win the one-of-a-kind Marvin the Martian 1022 custom painted stock, you can do that while you're there also. Now, back to the entertainment. But like I said, it's just not one of my top issues. Although those people seem to think it would be. And plus, I thought Donald Trump was going to end it in a day once he got elected. Wasn't that one of his promises? I think Donald Trump found out that you can't just pretend to be friendly with someone and manipulate them when they're a sociopath. You can't reason with a sociopath, especially not when you're a narcissist, because it's so much easier for a sociopath to manipulate a narcissist than it is the other way around. And I think we've seen that on Russia, and hopefully Donald Trump's waking up to that. It seems like he might be a little bit. But the first person weighing in here is Officer Tater Hater, and he says, I believe we need to focus on arming Americans way before Ukraine, Israel, or any other country. We have enough trouble dealing with our people here. Sent emails to, I'm trying to find that AI camera guy. I don't know what the AI camera guy. But I did see you sent some emails. I haven't watched them yet, but that's all. I don't know about arming Americans. Every American has the right to get a gun. And then there's some that can't afford it. But I mean, are you advocating to be like a dividend for people that everybody every year gets a certain amount of money for firearms and ammo? I could probably be talked into that. Like a tax break. It's not subsidized by the government. It's just given like, hey, if you bought a gun, you write it off on your taxes. If you stocked up on ammo, you get to write off a certain amount on your taxes. I'd be fine with that. MLS says no dollars or aid to Ukraine. Midget Zelenskyy wants war. Well, I don't know if he wants war. I mean, it does make him a player on the world stage when he would have been nobody otherwise. But I don't really care about him one way or the other. I just don't want Putin getting his way and becoming more powerful. And I am not someone who will in any way ever represent that Russia is our friend. I would love Russia to be our friend. I would love they had a government that we could actually trust and do business with, but not when Putin's there. It's not going to happen. Gummy Wuzzle says, yes, all of NATO should be arming Ukraine. I do agree with the aspect of, yes, NATO should be more involved. If we have decided, and NATO, one of their main goals is to protect against the Soviet Union threat. That's one of the main reasons they exist. China, Soviet Union. So if they're going to help countries against the Soviet Union, shouldn't just be us footing the bill. I mean, fine, yeah, give them all the stuff we have to get rid of anyway. Transport it over there. That costs money, though, but of course it gives our military something to do. But the other people should be kicking in too. Whatever their gross national income or production or whatever, how rich a nation they are, they should be paying an equal portion, commiserate to what their standing is as far as money towards the defense of these countries like Ukraine. Like, say, if America has got 5 times as much money as another country, that country should be donating 1/5 of whatever we donate. Sean Bain, I know that's overly simplified, but I'm a simple person. Sean Bain says Russia annexed Ukraine and Ukraine have been after each other since the time of Catherine the Great. In not our fight or our business. Well, I think in a way it is our business because Russia is one of our biggest adversaries. They are responsible for, a lot of people like to say, oh, the Taliban and all these Muslim groups kill so many Americans and the Iranians kill so many Americans. Well, yeah, how do you think they're doing that? With the help of Russia. And when people talk like, oh, Kim in North Korea, he built an atomic bomb or he built a ship. No, he didn't. He assembled one that Russia gave him. So pretending Russia is not our problem I think that's a little short-sighted. I don't want to have all of Europe be a unified Russia. Donnie W., hell yes. Since when does America turn its back on people wanting self-determination? We have plenty of money too if our corrupt politicians weren't funneling our wealth to themselves and their donors. Yes, and off seas and into other countries. And they always have enough money for things they want to do. It's just when stuff like this, we don't have enough money to fund the mental health system in this country. It would cost tens of millions of dollars for states. And then they spend hundreds of millions of dollars building ridiculous camps for undocumented people. because the money's going in the right pockets. They don't mind spending money. They just want it to go in the right pockets. And if it's not going into pockets of the 6 families that control this country, well, then they're not going to do it. That's why we don't do healthcare. That's why we don't do mental health care and stuff like that in this country, because it's not profitable. The people that would provide the care aren't big money hungry assholes. Edgar Cortez said, provided we don't send troops, I definitely believe we should arm Ukraine, especially with a thug like Putin who has expansionist intentions. Yeah, he wants to take over all Europe. Yeah, no troops. It's not our fight to get involved with ground troops. Plus, ground troops is so passe nowadays. Who fucking needs them? When you can wipe out a city from 100 miles away. But that's Practical Bacon that weighed in there. Did I click on Edgar Cortez and read his? I think I did. And I did read Practical Bacon's just then. Ramon D 1776 says, beside Ukraine, I am avoiding anger from Phil. Yeah, you're paying his tithes so Phil don't come after him. Edgar Cortez said, we armed Afghanistan and they handed the Russians their rear end. They sure did. They chased the Russians the fuck out of there. Russia was like, fuck this shit. You all can have it. We got like 2 more people here weighing in. Let's get to them real quick. Johnny Mandrick says, absolutely. We aren't sending them enough. I thought this was supposed to be over 1 week after Orange took office. Well, I thought he said he'd end it in a day. He might have said a week. I don't think it's ended, and it's been over a week. Like I said, I think he realized, hey, you can't negotiate with a sociopath. No matter how nice you try to be to them or flattering you are to them or give them the benefit of the doubt, ain't going to work. They're a sociopath. And unfortunately, Trump's a bit of a narcissist. And it really is easier for a sociopath to manipulate a narcissist than the other way around. Mark Lax is our last person weighing in here and says, am I the only person who sees that a lot of countries we arm end up using those arms against us? Ukraine is bad, yet Russia is even worse. Well, they don't really use that's really kind of a misnomer. We do arm many countries, like we armed Iraq. We've armed, people in South America and the Middle East and all this stuff. But the arms we give them don't make a shitload of difference in any type of fight when we fight with them. They might as well be throwing spitwads at us. But it works against the countries they're fighting as guerrilla warfare because they're close to them and they can actually get to them. Like Ukraine can get to the Russian front. Ukraine can hit inside cities. They can't do that to us from over there. And the weapons we give them doesn't give them any capacity to fight us whatsoever. But it does sometimes get used against the ground troops or in terrorism. All right, that seems like that's it for us today. How about you out there in YouTube land? What do you think? What are your thoughts on the Ukraine thing? Do you have strong thoughts on it? Or are you kind of like me and you're just like, me, I just hate Putin? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you want to weigh in on one of these topics in person, come to our live chats. We do them every day at 6 p.m. So come on in. If you want to stick around, you can for the open chat afterwards even. We'll be doing that here in just a minute, so everybody out there stick around. I also want to thank everybody today for participating and say I hope I see everybody here tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again. Hey everybody, Yankee here. Before we go, I just want to take a second to remind everyone that this channel is 100% viewer funded. We don't take a penny from advertisers, retailers. We don't take money from political organizations. There's no one telling me what I need to tell you. Everything that we do is done through the generosity of our viewers, either buying merchandise or becoming a patron or a Subscribe Star member. You're all the ones that support Pets and Vets and TYMP. And that's the reason I can stay true to myself and loyal only to the people who watch my channel. And I can spend my time talking about what I want to talk about, telling what I think needs to be said, and giving you my uncensored take on things I think you need to hear. So if you'd like to help keep things that way, please support the channel by becoming a patron, a Subscribe Star supporter, or just going over to my web store and buying some merch. The links are all in the upper corner of this video.